opportunity now to play a big role in this offense?
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. Just this past couple of years, just kind of sitting behind some really good guys. It's been real nice, getting to learn everything, and especially being from here. I went to my first game against the Houston Cougars when I was 7 years old down at Neyland Stadium, and that was, real special for me, and it's real special to be here doing this now.
Jacob, what do you need to see personally and from the offensive line as a whole when you guys scrimmage on Saturday?
I need to see that, my play is consistent. The word on my bus, Coach Jones had, everybody read the book, The Energy Bus. And on my bus is consistency. That's what I needed to continue from for spring and be consistent. And that's what I need to see out of myself and the O-line. We just need to be consistent, play as one group, and we'll be fine.
How much are you and Blair pushing one another right now?
Me and Blair talk all the time. He sits right next to me in meetings. So I'm talking to him all the time on some technique. He gives me some pointers on stuff he sees. And we're really just trying to, the best one will come out on top. That's our mentality.
What did you spend the summer working on specifically in order to try to make yourself better?
I spent the summer on finishing, putting my weight on and getting as strong as I can and conditioning. Our offense moves real fast, and we got to be conditioned the whole time. And so just running, everything in the world that Coach Lawson has us running, plus lifting every day, just trying to focus on doing, my part in those lifts.
Jacob, what were you doing when you found out you were going to be on scholarship?
I was actually at the pool back in Farragut, and Coach Jones called me, and he was like, hey, I think it's finalized, we're going to put you on scholarship. And this was back in May during our dead period. And he was like, I didn't know what to say at first. I was pretty shocked. And, I just said thank you, and, we worked out the details later, but it was good.
What did it mean to you? Obviously, offensive lineman walk on, you put your time in, your hours in. Just what did it mean to you to finally get that reward?
I think it was a step in the right direction for me. My whole thing and the whole time I've been here is it's not been, scholarships the end role for me. My role always has been here to start and play as best I can. So getting that scholarship was a huge thing, but I feel like it was just a step in my whole journey.
Late last year, did you know you have a legitimate shot to start this coming season, or was something said to you at the end of last season, or when did you kind of realize this was a realistic possibility?
I never tried to look too far ahead. In the spring, I came in and I was, too deep on the chart, and they brought in, Blair, obviously, and he's a good player, and we battled it out, and I didn't really assume anything. I went and I won the job in spring, and I've kept it since.
Do you view what you've done this year as kind of just a continuation of what you've done the whole time here, or do you feel like you've taken a big jump since last year?
Hard to say on that because every year, you improve on something. And it's little gains at first, and eventually it all kind of comes together and clicks for you. And I feel that's what's going to happen this last year is, I've made little gains on all parts of my game, and it's finally clicking for me.
Now you talk about not wanting to get too far ahead of yourself with this and think about, well, maybe, Utah State's coming up and all this stuff, and I might get to start, but the closer that it gets to the season and the closer that you're still holding off Blair for that #1 spot on a daily basis, does it get more difficult to do that? Does it get more difficult to not think about things like that?
I just try to come in every day and put my work in. I'm not trying to, look ahead to Utah State. Obviously, I got the #1 role right now, so I am preparing for Utah State. I'm preparing to start that game and play that game. But I'm not going to look past this scrimmage at all. This scrimmage will give us a real good indication on what we got.
How much better a player are you than you were in the spring?
How much better am I?
Better are you as a player, you think? You certainly look bigger, but how much
better
are you as a player?
Well, I think improving my strength has really been important in playing. Going against Kurt Magid every day, that's probably the #1, formula for my success is going against a player of that caliber and that speed and that strength. That's what's really allowed me to be, come better and be who I am right now.
How about Barnett? We keep hearing about what's he doing that's giving y'all some fits occasionally?
Barnett came in, and he's the epitome of 63. That kid comes in, rushes the passer, gets off, chases the ball down. He is running the ball every single play. He's giving us good moves on the edge. He's got a good upside.
How close is Magid to what he was 2 years ago, in your opinion?
Honestly, I don't really remember going against Magid much 2 years ago. I can only say what I've seen from spring and now, and I think he's a really good player.
You've seen changes in offensive line schemes and coaches, things like that. How big is it to have now the same scheme, same offensive line coach 2 years in a row?
It's been a big deal. I've had 3 different offensive line coaches, and it's proving myself to each one of those has been real tough. The good thing is they all came in, and especially Coach Mo. He came in first day, and he was going to adapt our scheme and whatever he thought they had as a coaching staff, adapt it as to what we knew and what we had in place in the first hand. and he's just really done a good job at keeping us on track and keeping our calls the same.
I know other guys rotate in from time to time and things like that, but pretty much it's the middle of spring practice. You guys have had kind of the same first team line, basically. How much has the chemistry improved since then, and where are you guys now with that? Just kind of getting used to playing alongside each other.
Yeah, I've been next to Marcus now since the middle of spring, and it's definitely gone way up as far as our chemistry and just looking out for stuff like games and just blitzes and just pickups. And we talk a lot. We're up there in front of the meeting room. We're talking to each other. We're just trying to work through what we see on film, what we see out there on the field. And it's been really good just kind of having a constant group of guys to kind of get to know and get in there and get work with.
Are you cross-training in any other positions? Kyler talked about how he worked some at tackle today. How much are you doing of that?
I'm strictly at left tackle right now. I'll play whatever Coach Mo needs me to play. I don't really care. I'll learn center. I'll learn guard. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just here to play my role.
When you were coming out of high school, did you get any offers anywhere else? Smaller programs?
I got a couple. Nothing, that really enticed me. I came out of college. I came out of high school, and I was 240 pounds. So I don't blame many colleges for not giving me a scholarship or saying, hey, we want you to come play here. I got some preferred walk-on opportunities. I got some other stuff. But when I came to Tennessee and gave my film to Coach Craig, and he called me up and said he wanted me to walk on here, and I came here and I was just like, well, that's what I'm doing.
How many games have you gone to over the years growing up here?
I've had season tickets, or my dad's had season tickets since I was about 9 or 10. And my first game, like I said, I was 7 years old, and I got two younger brothers who are, one's 17, one's 18. And we've all come to games, since we were real little. They've been coming since they were, 4 and 3, but probably in the realm of 50 to 80, somewhere in there. I can't really tell you.
So you don't want to look too far ahead, but I imagine you got to think when you're lying in bed or something, what it may be like to see your parents, your little brothers, to see you not be interested on the field and start. What would that be like? Or have you kind of allowed yourself to think that?
It'd be real special, to run out there through the tee on Utah State and, know where my family's sitting and just, they'll know they were there for me, watching me, supporting me. It'll be big because my little brother's looking at, several places to go, and I got, my middle brother who's going to be here in the fall as a student, and my dad went here, my mom went here. It's kind of a family thing, Tennessee, and it'd just be great to have them out there watching me against Utah State.